This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on India's digital public infrastructure. The participants are Economic Analyst Dr. S.P. Sharma and S. Rangabashyam, AIR correspondent.
Welcome to this discussion on digital public infrastructure, Dr. S.P. Sharma. We all have seen in the past couple of years all these infrastructure facilities like, Jan Dhan, Aadhaar, UPI, CoWIN. You can go on, naming them DigiLocker. We have seen the impact in the last almost 7-8 years. But tell us about the, socio-economic impact of this digital public infrastructure.
India is the fastest moving economy, not only in the growth trajectory, but also in the digitization process. Now we are number one in the digital transactions, and we posted more than 70 billion digital payment transactions in 2022, increased from 44 billion in 2021. So we are the fastest moving economy in the digital transactions, and we are ahead of China, South Korea, Thailand, United Kingdom, and progressing and increasing at a high rate every year. So that is the picture at the global chart that India has adopted very well the digital transformation and digitization processes, and we are moving in a significant way as compared with many advanced, developed, emerging and developing economies. So how the digital processes and the transformation is taking place and how this is benefiting the people at large. Firstly, I would like to mention the Aadhaar, which is a great transformation of the Indian economy, and that is the national identity, and we have Aadhaar card to show the residential proof and our credentials, which is majorly based on the digital processes, and with the support of the digital processes, we were able to make it possible and a great success for the Indian economy. And I believe now each Indian holds the Aadhaar identity, which is provided by the Government of India. So then the UPI, which is called the Unified Payment Interface, which is again a great success, which facilitates the financial transactions. And then, as you mentioned, the DigiLocker, which is online storage platform, which is also providing a great support to the people and the economy and the businesses. So online payment, like the online paperless and the cashless processes are becoming more and more vibrant and the supportive for the digitalization process in the country. I would like to mention the impact how these transactions and these facilitations are benefiting the people. Firstly, if we go by the recent crisis of the COVID-19, then the digital processes helped us a lot, because without the digital processes, I think this was not possible to reach so much a large chunk of population. And with the support of the digital processes, more than 87% of the poor households received at least one benefit provided under the so many schemes of the Government of India, and the dissemination of the processes and the dissemination of the benefits to the beneficiaries was very strong. So that is a great achievement, and with the support of digital processes, we are able to save our expenditure also, which is estimated at around 1% of the GDP, according to the recent numbers, which is again a great success, which saves our cost, compliance cost, and the cost of dissemination of the services. Like the Jan Dhan Yojana, which is a financial inclusion, and I would say the financial revolution for the Indian economy, which provided 462 million accounts to the people, particularly to the poor people, and these people were able to benefit from the financial processes of the government, sometimes the direct benefit transfers, and there are so many financial supportive systems of the government. Jan Dhan Yojana is a great revolution of the Indian economy, and this shown a great success with the support of the digital processes. If we go by the assessment and the benefit, then the KYC norm of the banking sector is a very strong parameter to know about the customers. With the support of digitalization, now this has also become very, at the low cost, they now do the KYC systems. According to the estimates, the $12 was the cost of the KYC, but now this is only 6 cents with the support of digital processes. So the impact is very high, and transformation is at the highest level, as we are the fastest moving economy in the digital transactions, and the impact assessment is strong.
Dr. Sharma, the digital public infrastructure in the country has grown by leaps and bounds in the last couple of years. But let's also, discuss the flip side, the digital divide between urban and rural areas. What do you think? What do you feel that is the digital divide still there between rural areas and urban areas, and somewhere the villages, the tier 2, tier 3 cities and smaller towns need to catch up with urban India as far as the digital infrastructure is concerned?
Yes, because every process starts from the top of the pyramid, and I think the transformation has took place in the large metropolitan cities and then the tier 2 cities, but still we have to move forward in the transformation in rural areas like the rural economy, which is 67% of the total of economy, and 67% households are still in the rural areas. So they have to be benefited from the such great transformation, which is for benefit of the people and to create welfare activities for the economy. I think the most important ingredient is the awareness about the digital processes. Sometimes the people are not aware about the policy process that they can submit digitally such kind of papers, and they sometimes are not knowing the process for the submission. So we have to firstly, number one, to create the awareness processes, and number two, the training programs for them so that they are able to submit their papers digitally and they are aware about the benefits and they are able to get the benefit of such transformation. And I would like to mention that during the COVID period, the vaccination process greatly benefited the whole India. So there was no divide of the urban and rural, and every citizen was knowing about the digital process of the vaccination, and they were knowing that there is a process of digital system that they will get some information at their mobile phone, and there will be a certificate also which is provided online in their mobiles. So that was a great awareness program. So in the same way, the other policies should also be disseminated in such a manner that they are able to know about the process and benefit, both to move forward and to become more and more digital and to maintain our position at the world level as a number one digital transforming economy, so that this process goes a long way to push the trajectory of economic growth, which is anticipated at 5 trillion, 10 trillion, and sometimes $20, $30 trillion economy in the coming years and in the decade. So I think the digital processes will benefit and push growth trajectory and help the economy to transform greatly from the informal to the formal economy in the coming times.
Dr. Sharma, let's discuss this holy trinity which we call JAM, the Jan Dhan account, Aadhaar and the mobile. In the year 2014, when the Honorable Prime Minister started this initiative of Jan Dhan accounts, it was probably, forethought on the part of the Prime Minister and the government that this would be needed in times to come, which has been proven correct down the years, that this trinity of Jan Dhan account, the Aadhaar and the mobile being used for all digital transactions. So don't you think that was really commendable on the part of the government?
I must put on record thought process and the longer term vision of the government that anticipates the coming times trajectory, how the economy should transform to become more and more modern and to become more and more visible in the global charts with the support of such kind of schemes. And I would say that adoption of the policies and the procedures by the people and facilitated by the government is commendable. And going forward, as the government is anticipating that we are going to become one of the developed economies by 2047. So this is the Amrit Kal to become a developed economy by celebrating our 100 years of independence by 2047. I think that is going to become major support to the economy, as said by our Honorable Prime Minister that yahi samay hai, sahi samay hai. So I believe that we are going in tandem with the thought process of the government, and we are going to become a developed economy with the support of such kind of bold moves by the government and transformation adopted by the people.
Dr. Sharma, let's also talk about the healthcare infrastructure and the impact of digital public infrastructure on the healthcare sector. You spoke about DigiLocker being used for keeping documents. Also the Abha account, that is the Ayushman Bharat Health account, which is touted to keep all the health records of a person, of a patient at one place digitally and can be retrieved anywhere in the country and the globe, which would be having all the prescriptions, having the x-rays, the scan reports, the lab reports. So So isn't that really wonderful that over a period of time, in the next couple of years, we will see that, everyone has a ABHA account, the Ayushman Bharat Health account, and has all the reports. Even we people who live in urban areas find it very difficult to retrieve their reports or prescriptions which were given, say, 2 years back, 3 years back. But with the advent of this digital account, that would be really wonderful.
Yes, I totally agree, because like health, education and financial processes, these are the main ingredients of an economy to move forward. And as I mentioned, that financial inclusion has already happened, and we have observed a great revolution in the accounts through the Jan Dhan Yojana. Now, as you said, the health systems, health procedures and the health records are becoming more and more strong with the help of Aadhaar and Ayushman Bharat. So these processes are going to benefit the economy with the speed of the information, because sometimes you don't have the information to move forward and you again collect the information. So now the records, with the support of the records, the administration and the people can move forward at a speedy way to get the benefits, and to people to get the benefits and government to provide the benefits. So there is a great compliance and complementarity between the two. First, the benefit providers and the benefit getters. So I think this is a great transformation. And third, as I mentioned, that firstly health and financial inclusion, and the education. Now the government is also open up the libraries, digital education libraries, and the government has provided so many reforms for the digital processes in the education system also. So I think the public infrastructure for the great merit things like health, education and financial inclusion, all these things are going to benefit the people and economy to create a welfare state and to increase the living standards of the people.
Dr. Sharma, let me play the devil's advocate. We all do acknowledge the fact, the impact of digital public infrastructure, the importance, the convenience, the ease of using all this. But, critics often point out the security issue, the data breach, or the data security issue and privacy issues which are related, especially for financial transactions and health records being put to wrong use if there is a security breach. Don't you think that's a challenge which the government has to, continuously address?
Yes, government is doing a lot, and the government has various checks and balances on the same, and there are a lot of, again, safeguards to protect the people from the misuse of such kind of facilitations. So moving ahead, I think challenges will remain, and because if something is going to happen new, then we have to face the challenges also. But we have to tackle the challenges going forward with our awareness system and secondly the training programs. So we have to support the government also so that every system is transparent, and we are moving ahead with under the all regulatory environment, and there is no misuse of the such kind of facilitation services. And with the support of all the people, I think the policies will become more robust and beneficiary for the large chunk of population.
Dr. Sharma, we have all seen, the entire country has seen how the digital public infrastructure has changed, and with the advent of 3G and then 4G technology in mobiles, and now we have the 5G technology also introduced in the country. Do you think this introduction of 5G will take all these infrastructure, the digital public infrastructure, to the next level?
Yes, I am certain that 5G will be a great revolution for the Indian economy, and that will enhance the speed of the transformation in the digital economy and also increase the digital processes, the adoption of the digital processes. And thirdly, that will remove the bottlenecks also and speed up and remove the barricades, if any, in the transformation of digital processes.
Dr. Sharma, let's hope that the digital divide and the gap narrows in times to come, and the digital public infrastructure grows by leaps and bounds and helps the entire population of our country. Thank you so much for joining us in this discussion.
Thank you.
You are listening to a discussion on India's digital public infrastructure. The participants were Economic Analyst Dr. S.P. Sharma and S. Rangabasham, AIR correspondent. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsttalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 92890 94044.